Hi guys, I'm Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a book unhaul video. I will be having a haul video at some point. I don't know when. My schedule is all over the place. I don't really even have a schedule, but you know, the few things I do have scheduled, it's all over the place. Anyways, I'm doing this book unhaul. I was inspired to do this, kind of, sort of. I mean, I knew I had to go through my books again and kind of get rid of some stuff because I have a very small amount of space to store books. I have this three shelf bookcase right here. I have another one that's also 3 shelves in the closet. And pretty much the rest of my books live in boxes under my bed. I live in a very small room, so I definitely like to narrow down my book collection, but I was also inspired to do this when I watched Oshina's, she was talking about her physical TBR, and she meant in one of her videos, I'll leave a link to that video in the description, but she was also just talking about how she likes to keep her TBR small and like her book collection small, and I like to do the same thing because I like to keep the books that I really like, I would like to reread a lot, stuff like that. So if a book doesn't fall into those qualifications, I get rid of it. Even if I did like it the first time I read it, I don't need to keep it if I'm not going to reread it. I mean, that's what the library's for and stuff like that. So, and I've been in a decluttering spree event anyways. Her video was the one that kind of kicked off what I was thinking of, because I was also thinking of like getting rid of a particular series, but I was kind of on the fence about it because I did enjoy it at the time. I just don't think after looking through the first book I will like it again the second time. So yeah, but I've been decluttering everywhere. Like I'm pretty sure there's only like my dresser, my jewelry, that I think that's like those are like the last 2 holdouts. I haven't gotten to those yet, but the books were definitely the first one, so I really went through them, really just decided of which ones I would definitely don't need to reread in order to not keep. I do have a bunch of books that I want to reread first to determine if I want to keep them or not. But these just didn't quite make that cut. These are just gonna go. So yeah, without further ado, we're gonna get into it. I also just want to make a disclaimer that if some of your favorite books are on here, that's no hate on them. Like I said, I really liked the majority of these books when I read them. I just don't think I'm going to reread them. I don't have the space for them, so they're going to go. And anyways, the first series that I was talking about earlier that kind of started me thinking about doing this again was they're falling, is the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. I really liked these books when I first read them several years ago, but I tried looking through The Lightning Thief again, which is the first book, and I don't know, some things about it are bugging me a little bit, and I don't think I'm going to like this series as much the second time around if I reread it, or at least the third time around, because I've reread these before. But I just don't think I'm going to like them anymore. Middle grade and I have a strange relationship anyways, and yeah, and there was also just kind of some weird stuff going around about the new TV series, and the author's response to that normally that stuff doesn't bother me, but this one kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But anyways, regardless of his reaction and stuff to that, I just don't think I'm gonna like this series the second time, or a third time, I mean. So yeah, I'm just gonna unhaul these, and if I want to read them again, I'll get them from the library. So yeah, that is 5 books right there. So it's The Lightning Thief, Sea of Monsters, The Titan's Curse, The Battle of the Labyrinth, and The Last Olympian. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and pass these on to someone else who will like them much more. So yeah, where do I put these? Okay, we'll put them over there. Okay, the next one I'm going to be unhauling is the Scorpio Races. I liked this book, but the more I sit on it, more of just like a rereadability quality, I probably wouldn't reread this, because I do remember for the majority of it I was kind of bored. Or it was just like, it was very, very slow. It was pretty much the ending that made up for it, but yeah, this is definitely not a favorite book by her, so yeah, I'm just gonna pass this one on too. I mean, I'm passing all these on, but I'm trying to like give reasonings for why. Also, The Sorcerer of the North and The Siege of Mason Daw by John Flanagan. These are books 5 and 6 in the Ranger's Apprentice series. These were the only ones of the Ranger's Apprentice series that I kept because I liked the series well enough. But again, I don't think I'd reread it. These are more like, they're not really middle grade, they're like younger YA, but which is fine. And these were my 2 favorite books in the series, but I don't think I'm gonna reread them. Ever. I got rid of the rest of the series and I just kind of hung on to these 2, but yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and unhaul these as well. Again, with any of these, if I want to reread them, I will just get them from the library again. Okay, so the next one is the Icarus Aftermath by Aftermath. Let's try that again. Okay, the next one is the Icarus Aftermath by Ariel M. Bailey. This is a sci-fi, like, Greek mythology retelling of the Minotaur and the Labyrinth. I liked this book. I really did, but I have no desire to, like, ever pick it up again and reread it. Sci-fi and I are kind of tricky. And this is a really good sci-fi book, but yeah, I just don't see myself wanting to reread this, like, ever. So, yeah, so that's why it's going. It's a good book, but, yeah, I just don't see myself rereading it. And like I said, to be kept on my shelves, they need to have a rereadability quality to them. And the next, let me just grab these kind of as a whole. Let's see. Okay, so the next few, these are just more for personal reasons. I do collect Tangled books, but I'm going to be getting rid of these 3. This one, Rapunzel's Wedding Day, this is just like a retelling of the short Tangled Ever After, and the quality isn't very good with the pictures and stuff, and yeah, I'll just watch the short if I want to, so yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of that one. Also, Rapunzel's Heroes, this is it's a shorter adaptation of another picture book that is Rapunzel and the Golden Rule, I think it's called. I have that one. I'm just gonna keep that one instead of this one, because this one, it's basically the same thing. It's just, this is a different type of version, and it has a couple of different artwork pieces, so yeah, just gonna get rid of that one. And the last one is the Little Golden Book of Tangled, and this one I'm purely getting rid of because the art style is creepy, and I don't like it, so that's the only reason this one's going. If I had a better art style, I'd be keeping that one, but it kind of creeps me out. So, okay, next one I'm going to be unhauling. I know I did this one in a haul video recently, but that is the Star Wars Agents of Chaos 2. After looking at some reviews of this series, I don't think I'm gonna like this series, so, I mean, I want to try different Star Wars books, but I want to try them with the increased chance that I'll like them, and I just don't think this one will fit the bill. Also, it's by an author whose other Star Wars book I hated, so not a good thing there. So that one's going. This one I did mean to reread. That is The Siren by Kira Cass. It's a beautiful cover, and I like the shiny quality of it, but when I first read this several years ago, it was before I started my YouTube channel, I gave this like 4 stars. I really liked it. It's definitely better than The Selection, but then I tried to come back and reread it this year, or last year actually, but yeah, and if it was just the romance and kind of like the forbiddenness of a siren falling in love with a human and stuff, and the ocean was seen as the villain, I would actually like this more. However, the ocean is kind of, while she's the villain, she's also like seen as like a victim of like, she's basically the equivalent of an abusive parent, but we're supposed to feel sorry for her. And I just couldn't get behind that. I'm definitely reading it again or looking at it again with new eyes and stuff like that. It's just, I cannot get behind that. It's basically an abusive relationship between the main siren girl and the ocean and stuff, and I just can't get behind that. We're supposed to feel sorry for the ocean, just no. So I think for now, for Kira Cass's books, I'm just gonna stick to I Liked 1,000 Heartbeats and leave it at that. Okay, the next one, again, I did enjoy this one. I just don't see myself rereading it, and I also don't see myself continuing the rest of the series. That is The Trail of the Jedi by Jude Watson. This is book 2 of the Jedi Quest series. I did enjoy this one, but again, I just don't see myself continuing this series. But yeah, because I tried to read another one by this author that followed Obi-Wan and Anakin, and I didn't like her characterization of Anakin. I think she did him a little bit too... It wasn't his character. So, I mean, at the time, I kind of could understand it because they only had the movies to go with it at that point. They didn't have, like, the Clone Wars TV series or anything, which kind of expands his character. But I don't know. I still just didn't like it, so I don't think I'd like the rest of this series, since this is about Obi-Wan and Anakin and kind of like their growing relationship. But, so yeah, I'm just going to leave myself as I don't know what it's about and not try to read it and get myself mad. So yeah, I'll just be unhauling this one. Okay. The next one is Conceal, Don't Feel by Jen Kellett. I don't know the author's last name, but this is one of the Disney's Twisted Tales books, if you've seen those going around. This is with the question of what if Anna and Elsa never met or never knew each other. They like grew up separately and stuff, but I like this book. But the weird thing is with this book, every single time I pick it up and read it, I like it, but the second I put it down, I completely forget what it's about. It is the weirdest thing. It's almost like book amnesia. Because I've read this book like twice. And every time I pick it back up, I'm like, oh, how does it go again? And I'm just like, this is weird. Normally I remember like bits of the plot or something like that, or even just the majority of it. But this one is like, I totally have book amnesia every single time I pick this up. And I'm just like, oh, what happened? And then I'm like, dummy, you read this like 2 times. You should know what happened. So it is super weird. I don't know what it is about this book, but every time it's like my brain gets wiped every single time I put it back down. I don't know what it is. But again, I will just get this out from the library if I ever want to read it again and then have my brain wiped. So, yeah. It's a good book if you can remember what it is or what it says. Okay. This one's also just, this is For the Love of the Horse, Volume 4. This is like a collection of like true short stories about horses. This one's not my favorite in the series. I kept the one that was like a childhood favorite or a younger me favorite, because I wasn't really a kid when I read it, but whatever. So yeah, I'm just unhauling this one because I don't care. So, okay, the next two. These are the first 2 books in the Thoroughbred Ashley series. These are like a spin-off of the original Thoroughbred series, and these are supposed to take place before then, but I'm not that attached to these. Also, the timeline of when Ashley is doing things and stuff like that doesn't really match up with the beginning of the Thoroughbred series, which I do prefer more, and I read more when I was younger. So yeah, it's more just like a timeline thing that I don't really appreciate that they didn't really stick to it. Also, just the Thoroughbred series is better than this one, at least from what I remember. I haven't reread those books yet, but so yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of these. Okay. Oh, foo. And the whole stack just fell over. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. They're all down there and nobody can see them. Anyways, the next one. This one's really disappointing for me to get rid of because I had such high hopes for this. In fact, I'll be talking about this book in my least favorite, most disappointing books of 2023. That is Lift by L.M. Ransom. This book had so much potential. It started out really, really good. And then it just fell off the wagon. I'm more disappointed that this didn't work more than anything. I've been hanging on to this book because it's like the potential is there, but also me hanging on to the book doesn't it's not going to make this book's potential actually go somewhere because it's already written. I had such high hopes for this series. It started out really, really good, but then even the rest of this book was just okay, but then the series just went over the deep end, and yeah, I'm very disappointed. But there's no point in me keeping it. That's not going to make the book actually live up to the potential it started with. So it's just taking up space in a box or on my shelf. So, yep, off it goes. Hopefully somebody else can enjoy it, because sadly I did not. And the last one is the Breyer Animals Collector's Guide. Yeah, I used to collect Breyer horses. I don't anymore, so there's no need for me to keep this book. Somebody else can have it. It just has like all the different horses from a certain amount of years. I'm sure they have an updated edition by now, but yeah, I don't collect them anymore, so yeah, that can leave. So that's quite a few books. Actually, I could count them, see how many there are, and fix this mess. So that's 21 books I'm unhauling. That's quite a few. I unhauled quite a lot of books last year too. I think I unhauled somewhere around 40 some books. I didn't count them, so I don't actually know, but yeah, I feel very happy about that because these are not taking up space somewhere anymore. They can go somewhere else where someone else will enjoy them more, and yeah, I feel better about it because I have a lot of books. I mean, if you look at my Goodreads shelves, I do have a shelf for the books I own physically. It's not exactly accurate because I know there's like at least 1 or 2 books that they just don't have listed on Goodreads that are not on there, but it's around 400 books. So yeah, I definitely need to make sure I keep my list down so, you know, it's not overflowing and I just have books sitting around because. So yeah, that is the unhaul video. I have probably at this rate, I probably won't have another unhaul unless I read some of those books I mentioned or reread some of those books I mentioned and just don't want to keep them. But yeah, I definitely want to try to keep up with this of like not buying books that I potentially won't reread, which, you know, if I've never read the book before, that's going to be a little hard to figure out, but I'm definitely going to try my best, do research, have my library buy the books if I can, which, you know, is not really plausible right now because currently my library is closed for maintenance because it got to like -25 Fahrenheit here, and I'm pretty sure like their pipes burst. So because it happened, because they put the notice out right after all that. So yeah, so you know, if I had the library buy them, it'll be like way later this year when they're actually open again. So yeah. Anyhow, yeah, that way either through my library or I'll try to get them as ebooks, which are cheaper. So yeah, we'll see. And I will definitely be keeping my collection down as much as possible. So yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you next time. Bye!